Alright, for you guys, it's probably been a day or two. For me, it's been 15 seconds since I last recorded a video. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with another Minecraft video. Again, it hasn't been that long. It's still the same night from the Hunter x Hunter video. But I'm here to talk about what I've been finally been waiting to talk about. Vagabond. Vagabond is a manga that came out early 2000s, I think 1999, maybe around there, about a samurai called Miyamoto Musashi. Famous samurai in Japanese history, and Vagabond is an interpretation of it, or it's an interpretation of a book called Miyamoto Musashi, or something like that, based on him, and that book is based on the interpretation of Miyamoto Musashi's legend. So yeah, But Vagabond is an unfinished manga. The manga writer never finished it. He didn't die. He's just, he's doing other things in life. And to each their own. It sucks that we'll probably never get to see the ending of this manga, but at least we have it here. At least we can enjoy what we have. And man, this video is probably gonna be me praising Vagabond because holy, this 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 manga was great. Is it my favorite manga? Difficult to say, honestly, right? Really difficult to say because I don't think I've ever gotten a feeling from a manga like this ever before. And it's not hype, even though it very well can be. But Vagabond just it has this elegance to it, right? It has this elegance, a type of serenity that I've never really gotten from a manga before. How do I explain this? So Vagabond is a very character focused manga, but only for Musashi. Well, Musashi and Kojiro. I'll talk about them in a second. But they focus a lot on the characters, how they're impacted by their surroundings, the fights, their actions, and the world around them, how they learn and grow as people. Musashi has the most character development in this manga, going from a very demonic child, warrior, bloodlust, revenge, I want to be the strongest, invincible under the sun, to a normal, chill dude. Like, he's plowing fields, he's making rice patties, it's crazy. And that character development doesn't come late. It's not easy. It's 327 chapters worth of character development. It's slow, but man, is it good. Oh man, is it good. It's really good character development. I've never seen a main character have so many twists and turns in their development and it still be interesting. Miyamoto Musashi is not a one note character. He's a very round and fleshed out character. An idea of a man who already existed in the past, taking that idea and making it your own. Like Takahiko Inoue, I think is his name, the mangaka who made this. He really did a good job with the Musashi's character development. Oh my goodness, man, I cannot stress that enough. Yeah, Miyamoto Musashi is one of the most interesting main characters I've ever read in a manga, or honestly in anime period. He is so interesting to watch. Like, ladies and gentlemen, Miyamoto Musashi made me care about a dude who used to kill people just for critical acclaim. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Oh, one thing I gotta mention. This manga is not for the children. No, in no way, shape, or form. It is not for children. It is not for people PG-13. If you if I had to give it a rating, I'd say 16 and above is good, a good age for this manga. In my personal opinion. If I had to give a rating system for it, though, it would be 18 plus. But I think 16-year-olds and above should be reading this manga, or not should be, more like they can read this manga. But you know, Vagabond is a really interesting manga, right? Because while you have all that character development going, it's also a fighting anime, or excuse me, manga. Miyamoto Musashi, known for fighting a lot, very dirty fighter. Never lost. Well, not never lost. Let me not say that because I don't know for certain. But he's a very renowned fighter, if not one of the best in the world, in history. And I know this because So one of my friends is really into like Japanese history, culture, all of it, and he was telling me about it, like Musashi, how cool he is, all these people, and they really show it in Vagabond. They really do show it. Musashi is so cool, and whenever he fights, like at first, it was blood, lust, rage in every one of his swings, but here later on, character development again, it's amazing. It's so good. But yeah, alright, enough about the character development. Let me talk about the what I wanted to talk about. So Vagabond is a very, very pretty manga. The art style is beautiful. Vagabond, like the minute I started reading it, I could already tell like, yo, this manga is really pretty. Why is it so beautiful? Every time we kept going, going, and going, and going. Like, Vagabond's art style reminded me of Samurai Champloo, I think episode 15, when Mugen goes through that whole experience, and they have that song playing. I forgot the name of it, but like Vagabond's art style reminds me of that. Very serene, very beautiful, minimalistic in some senses, but really specific on the details at the same time. Vagabond is beautiful. It's pretty. It's eye candy basically. And they really specify that, like some chapters barely have like any words in them, and it's just Musashi living his life as a vagrant, trying to learn how to become one under the sun, while also trying to learn himself, like at some points. Or Kojiro and his life and all that, or Madahachi, or Osu and Jotaro. Like this manga is so pretty, and you guys seen it too because I've used panels from uh, Vagabond as my thumbnails. Like a couple months ago when I was doing the reviews for Jujutsu Kaisen, some of my videos were interspliced with Vagabond thumbnails. So if you see like that really crusty old looking old lady as the thumbnail, that was from Vagabond. Like it's crazy. But yeah, like it's a really good looking manga if you want to see the art style. The story, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for the most part. It's simple but complex at the same time in the subject matter, or not subject matter. I guess like in what it does to the characters. Is what I'm trying to say. Musashi just wants to become invincible under the sun, but along the way he learns like, is that really like worth it anymore? He meets swordsmen that are better than him. He fights, he learns, he kills, he kills, he kills. And the Musashi that we get in the beginning, when he's just Takazu, is way different from the Musashi that we have in the final chapters, where he's just tilling paddy fields. Like, again, character development. So good. Now, if I had to say some favorite characters, I will definitely say this. My favorite characters, there's a good majority of them. First Musashi, amazing character, probably my favorite character out of all of them because he gets the most focus. Miyamoto Musashi, great one. Then you have Sasaki Kojiro. Sasaki Kojiro is another one of my favorite characters because he is amazing. He is a deaf and mute samurai, but he is one of the best samurai, if not the best samurai in the entire like manga. So much so that if Musashi fought him, he would lose. And even Musashi knows this. Like, he needs to get stronger to the point where he knows he can beat Kojiro or at least be able to contend with him. Because Kojiro is a different type of sauce. Like, I don't understand you. And the way they introduce Kojiro, right? It's super cool. It's super, super cool because, like, with Musashi, we just got done with an arc. We just got done with a really important arc for Musashi's development. We just saw him fight Kohei, I think, a Tsuchikaze, or I think Ishin, I don't remember, but he fought one of those two. And out of nowhere, we just cut to something else. We just cut to a baby being born. And we get a flashback of Sasaki Kojiro and his life up until we get to meet him later on. And like, it's such a drastic change in pace. and a cutaway to something that we don't know anything about. But we see characters that we're familiar with because some of them are from the Yoshioka or from other characters like that we've met before. And it's so cool, like seeing Sasaki Kojiro grow up, use the sword, grip like a I forgot what they're called, the long blades from Japan. But seeing him grow and develop as a swordsman, all of his style, develop his style as a deaf and mute kid, making friends along the way, growing as a person. It's so cool, so cool. This man is the epitome of freedom. But regardless, you know, you have Takuan or Takuin, the monk who helps Musashi and Takuzo. Osu, who is the I guess the supposed romance option for Musashi. You have Madahachi, who is a childhood friend of Musashi's. Very interesting character. Very interesting character. I won't say anything on him, but a very interesting character, whether you like him or hate him. You have Jotaro, who follows Osu because he is the disciple of Musashi. You have Ishin. Ishin is amazing. I love Ishin. He's great. And Tsuchikaze. I really love his design. I really love his design. But he is a terrible person in nature. A a terrible person. But yeah, favorite characters aside, let's talk about fights. Let's talk about fights in Vagabond. My favorite fight, without a doubt, is Musashi versus 70 Men. The best fight. Oh, excuse me. The best fight in the manga for me, in my opinion, was that fight. And it's difficult to say that, right? It's really difficult to say that because you have great fights like Musashi versus Tsuchikaze with the sickle and chain and all that. You have Musashi versus Ishin, part 1 and part 2. You have Musashi versus the Yoshioka school. You have Kojiro versus the 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 dude that was the disciple of his father. You have so many good fights in here. And even though there's some of them are far and few in between, like they leave an impact on you. Just like how they leave an impact on Musashi and all the people that he will eventually kill. The fights in Vagabond are really important and crucial to the character's development, but also just fun to watch. There's so much technique in them on what they're doing, what they're going to do, how they should fight. It's a simple, battle between swordsmen. Or sometimes not swordsmen at all. Sometimes it's spear, like Ishin. But the fights are some of my favorite parts of Vagabond. But my favorite parts are still the characterization. The story is amazing. I really enjoy the story. It's so freeform. There's a lot of freedom to it, but it still feels like you're following something. You're following someone. There's a goal. There's a point to why they're doing this. Even if you sometimes think it's pointless, like the paddy fields. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. And then overall, since it's a manga, there's no sound effects, or there's no sound, there's no music. It's just pure, beautiful drawings, fights, and storytelling, and characterization. But if I could take anything away from Vagabond, it's that, man, like people joke about it on like iFunny or something, or just online, where Vagabond is a very woke anime, or excuse me, woke manga. In terms of like Musashi will kill somebody and he'll just like, not every fish is meant to swim upwards in the stream. It would just be there like, bro, Musashi, stop talking, dog. You're stupid. Like, why would you say something like that? It's so corny. But like Vagabond really does have some life lessons that you can just take away from and be like, yo, this is so cool, man. Like some of the stuff you could really apply to life, and that's a good thing because it's real. Like Musashi was a real person. He wrote the 5 Rings or whatever the book that he wrote. Like he was a real person, you know. So this can apply to your real life, and also the way that Takehiko Inoue just conveys it to the page is so natural, so cool. Yeah, he has his own ways of making Musashi feel like a person, and it's awesome. It's so good to follow. But Overall, if I had to say anything about Vagabond, is that it's one of the best manga I've ever read. Like, I have no regrets of reading Vagabond whatsoever. And in the future, I probably might reread it because it was awesome. You know, it was awesome. And to me, Vagabond will go down in like my favorite manga. Top 10? That's to be decided when I read more manga. But Vagabond, oh man, Vagabond was great. One of my favorite arcs being the Ishin arc, and the what's it called? The Kojiro arc. Like the Musashi versus 70 Men isn't really like an arc. At the same time, I didn't enjoy it as much. But man, the highlights in that arc were great. So I don't know. I gotta decide with myself later on. But yeah, the Ishin arc was amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And the Kojiro stuff, also amazing. So those are two standouts. But Vagabond, 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10, 9.5 at its best. Is it perfect? Of course not. Because A, it's not finished, and some of the parts are like maybe a little too slow. But because of its pacing, it makes Vagabond all the more better. So, overall, 8.5 out of 10, 9.5 at its peak. Cause oh my goodness, man, I have so much good to say about Vagabond. But yeah, if you read Vagabond before, or if you heard of it, let me know what you think of it in the comments. Try not to spoil like major things, just like try to be vague about it a little bit. But you know, if you haven't watched Vagabond, or excuse me, read Vagabond, uh, hopefully this gets you to push yourself a little bit towards that. I recommend it. If you like the like a little gruesome, but also interesting characters. Like it's not dark or gory just for the sake of it. It's realistic in a way if you think about it. Because like there's this character who loses his pinky finger and ring finger to a sword, and the way that the finger looks like it's body horror in a sense. He has three fingers, so they look like Frieza's feet in Dragon Ball Z. And when you see them healed up, it's so like it's so morphed and destroyed. And it's not like they don't do that to just gross you out. They do that to show like this is what happens in this world of Vagabond. This is what happens when you're a samurai. If you win and you walk away with your life. But if you win and you lose something, like you lose your leg or you lose your arm or your eyeball, did you really win? It's like going to the MMA and getting brain damage, but you still win. Did you really win? Like, did you really win? But yeah, like all that type of stuff. Again, viewer discretion is advised. Like Vagabond is definitely for like 18 plus, but I think if you're 16 and above, you should definitely be able to like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But regardless, Vagabond, I can't recommend it enough to people. That's my take on it. I'm definitely going to be calling this me praising Vagabond for however long it is. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching as always. Hope y'all stay safe. And what I read next, you guys will find out. And I'll probably find out when I'm done. So yeah, I'll check y'all out. And as always, peace.